All right, everybody. Today is our 17th wedding anniversary. We just had a great day. We're away from the kids. It's just the two of us. We went to a concert. Shay's favorite artist, Natalie Grant. We went to Fish Fest. It was awesome. And we just kind of want to give you a little bit of what our recipe is. It's not to come across as we're better than anybody. It's in no regard to say that we've got this marriage thing figured out, because let me tell you something. There's days she probably wants to kill me, and I plead the fifth on the reverse. However, the thing is, and I say this all the time, that people are first, and you have to put other people before you, and you have to choose people. And while I say that 99% of the time in the context of business, it comes in the form of marriage too. I have to choose to love my wife every day. There's days she's gonna piss me off, and there's days I'm gonna piss her off. Agreed?
Yes.
Silence says everything. It's not a matter of how much one can tick the other person off. It's a matter of waking up every day and choosing that other person. Marriage will supersede feelings some days. Some days the feelings will not be there. You're going to only have feelings of anger, resentment, bitterness, and any other baggage that you bring to the table, let alone the baggage that the other person brings to the table. And if you choose to seek that person out and love them, and you choose to communicate through, which communication in business, great at. Relationship, not so much, not my strong suit. I got to talk to you about my feelings, not my favorite. I got to talk to you about how to close a deal, let's talk any day. Now, if we choose each other and you do the right thing by each other, and at the end of the day you can come back and communicate with each other, that is how we've lasted 17 years. Because trust me, we've been through the ringer, from miscarriages to financial problems to hurting each other. We're just people. I'm a screwed up person, and
I'm perfect. Just kidding.
we let her believe that sometimes, but
So not perfect.
At the end of the day, she knows the truth. The reality is we're flawed. I'm a flawed person. She's a flawed person, and we each have baggage. And we have to choose to accept the other person's baggage, and we have to choose to love each other. And when you don't feel that love that morning when you wake up and maybe that other person ticked you off, you have to choose to continue on. And it's not easy. 17 years, some days feels like 70. 17 years, sometimes feels like 8 days. Well, maybe not that. I'm trying to play young, but we're not that young.
No.
So, at the end of the day, choose love, choose each other, and make time for each other. Guys, don't ever stop dating your wife, because the minute you stop dating your wife, that's the minute you let outside influences creep into your marriage, and that's the minute that she doesn't become special in her own brain to you any longer. Her perception of your perception of her changes, and it's a recipe for disaster. Always date your wife, always choose love, and never give up. Okay, so this is 17th anniversary, take 2, because I bogarted the whole first video and I started rambling and talking, and
Didn't speak at all.
I spoke plenty.
I didn't.
Right. So now we're going to let Shay have her piece. So if you could give anybody any advice, especially on how to deal with a guy like me, that kind of type A,
A unique person.
I like to call myself abstract, but if you could tell somebody how to deal with an abstract person who is an entrepreneur or just kind of a PIA, how would you, what would be your recommendation?
Okay, well, first, for me, I pray a lot. And
For me is what she means.
In all seriousness, no, I really do. I really do pray for him. And I'm not going to say that I'm perfect and remember to pray all the time, but I am a huge believer in the power of prayer, so I really do. I literally lay hands on him while he's sleeping, and I pray for him.
It would probably creep me out if I woke up in the middle of that, but it's appreciated.
No, so pray is the first thing. You have to have patience, and I don't
try your patience ever.
I don't have very good patience with anything. I want it, and I want it kind of now. So
Never noticed.
yeah. So but patience is
A virtue?
a big one for
Well,
me.
that's quite, I've heard that somewhere before.
Yes. Notice the sarcasm. That's what I deal with also.
Not I. Okay.
Anyways. No, I'm not done.
Oh,
See?
sorry.
He tried to bogart it again.
Apologies.
No, okay, so he is a very unique individual. And there are some times where I literally have to let things just go and literally weigh out, is this worth an argument? Is this worth making it into a bigger deal than it is? And sometimes he actually will learn on his own that was not a very good decision.
Sound slow right there.
No, I'm just saying, like, sometimes I'm like in my head and like I know that that's a dumb idea, or that's not going to come out the way that you think it's going to come out. Not because I can see the future or anything, but because, I don't know, women's intuition, or because I can see outside the situation that he can't. So a lot of times he will listen to what I'm saying, not hear it.
I always hear it.
And he has to learn on his own that it's like, he will come back literally like 2 or 3 days later. That wasn't a very good idea.
I think she meant I hear it and I don't listen.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes.
It's because I was listening.
Yes, I did mean that. But anyway, so he will have to come back and say, like, and I really honestly want to say, and the flesh of me wants to say, told you so. And I think I have told you.
Now, not to
said that
bogart
before.
the video again. Now, as an entrepreneur, when you have a spouse that has to put up with your crap, here's the thing. You got to learn to shut up and listen, because last thing you want to hear when you come home from a 14, 15-hour day of dealing with problems is problems. And sometimes they need to share them with you, which is actually very understandable if you set aside that
I don't
thing.
like hearing that.
She doesn't, but it's the
I
truth.
really don't, because
But the thing is, it's the truth. The last thing you want to hear sometimes are going through or listening to those problems. And sometimes those problems, while in your own head they seem like they're probably not as big as what you faced during the day slaying dragons to keep everything going, they're just as important in her mind. And so they should be just as important to you. And don't minimize them because they're not for your sake of providing or for the benefit of your business or your job. So don't minimize them. I do that. Not intentionally, but I know that I do that. Okay, actually, I'm learning that I do that because I don't necessarily know it. There's a difference between what I know and what I need to know.
And 17 years, we are still learning. Like, we know each other. Like,
By the way, 17 years, we got married at like 11. We're still pretty young.
it kind of feels like it, but 11. But oh my gosh. Anyways, but we literally, like, we know each other so well that it's really scary. Like, it's scary, you guys. Like, really scary.
Don't get intimate. This is a video. This is a
No,
family video.
Stop it. No, I'm just saying, like, I will say, oh, you know what I was thinking? And he literally will finish my thought out loud. And we do that to each other. Anyways, we literally have been together so long. But when it comes to marriage and we're still figuring things out. Like,
I'm
you
a jerk
change.
is what she
And
says sometimes. I mean,
I have my own issues and flaws too. But I'm just saying, like, you still have to figure things out. You still have to, people change. You change over time. Situations make you change. And we've been through lots of situations.
Especially if you've gotten married young. If you get married young and you grow up together and you move, in Shay's case, from your parents' house to your husband's house and you know nothing different, you grow up together. And people grow up at different speeds. And I had a different upbringing than she had. So I was probably far more grown up and I had already seen a lot more of the world. And a little bit of a shell shock for her when she had to jump into that. Doesn't mean any different. I mean, doesn't make it any wrong or anything like that. It's just I didn't know how to handle that. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be sheltered. Never have been, never will be. However, learning from her upbringing, I know that we want to shelter our own children a little bit. Those are the types of compromises you have to make. You have to find a balance between both people that meets everybody's need. Anything else?
What else? Any other advice or anything? You can, not just dealing with
For
you,
17 years
just,
to be happy for 17 years of marriage, I'll sum it up in 3 things.
okay.
Communicate,
Yes.
choose love,
Yes.
lots of sex. That's sorry, we took it PG-13. Would you disagree with those things?
No, I would
Exactly.
not. No, and
Communicate, love, lots of sex. That would be pretty much the sum up 3 things.
okay, but for us also, and I think we just need to share first. You literally need to put God first before anything else.
God would agree with my 3 things.
Yes, I agree with.
Biblical.
Oh my gosh. Anyways,
It's true.
okay, but
I think she's uncomfortable. because
I'm
I
not
used the
uncomfortable.
S
I could
word in
no.
public.
I'm not uncomfortable. Like, I hope everybody
Has the
that's
S
married
word.
is. Yes, yes, I do. I do. Anyways, yes, I agree with those 3 things. But also, just want to say, literally putting God first, because we have been through things that literally should have ripped us apart, and if we are going to be honest, came very close to ripping us apart. And I think some people think, oh, it's easier just to divorce or whatever. I don't think so. You think so?
And listen,
And maybe
that's-
I'm not trying
that's
to
not
judge
judgment.
anybody.
Some
No,
people
I'm
need.
sorry.
Some
I don't
people it
mean-
needs to part ways. Here's the
Yes,
thing,
for
though.
certain.
Here's the thing. Is you have to be real about it. We're all dealing with the same crap. You're not the only marriage that's going through, trying to decide if you want to be there or not. 17 years, we're happy now, and we've always fought to be happy. There's days where it's like, what the heck are we doing here? Not days anymore, but there were days. So just keep choosing it, and remember that you're not the only one going through the crap. We've gone through the crap, and this isn't a preachy, holier than thou
No.
type of, hey, this is what we did. Look at us, we're so great. This is, hey, crap's real. Sometimes you're going to eat crap, and sometimes you're going to overcome crap. And just remember, put God first, communicate, choose love, and have lots of sex. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.